Hello everybody, welcome back to Sara's like laughing at me.
That was so much energy. I liked it.
I'm overcompensating because we're doing this in the morning and we normally don't do this in the morning, so I'd overcompensate just a little bit.
You gotta pretend you're awake.
Yeah, I do.
I like it.
We're going to talk about Decision Day, the last day of the NWSL season, because it was so exciting.
It was wild.
Yeah, but it was so exciting. I was just like overwhelmed by like all the things that were going on. So this is Tuesday, but crazy day.
Yeah, so much went on in practically all of the games.
Yeah.
Like it had never been that hectic. It was wild.
Sarah and I were kind of talking about it. We kind of liked all the games at one time because it's like, obviously, 4 of the playoff spots were going to be determined that day. But I guess in the way of if it was playing staggered, then some of the teams would know what was going to happen and know what they would have to do. This way, you don't know what you have to do. It's just like you have to win. Is there, like we said in our last video we had was our team was Gotham and Reign won big. Gotham tied, but they're still in. But we're going to talk about it. Exciting. So I'm going to read a little bit from this, and then we'll go from there.
Wave windshield, Angel City make playoffs. The first decision day in National Women's Soccer League history is in the books, and the San Diego Wave claimed its first trophy in the franchise's second season of existence after another Portland Thorns collapse on the final day of the regular season. All 12 teams were in action at the exact same time on Sunday for the league's most dramatic regular season finale since its inaugural season a decade ago. 8 teams remained in contention for the final 4 playoff spots, which were ultimately claimed by the North Carolina Courage, OL Reign, Angel City FC, and New Jersey, New York, Gotham FC. The Reign defeated the Chicago Red Stars 3-0 to secure their place, while the Courage defeated Washington Spirit 1-0 after Spirit forward Trinity Rodman was sent off early in the first half, causing the 2021 NWSL champions to miss the playoffs for the second straight year. Angel City thumped the Thorns 5-1 in Los Angeles to qualify for the playoffs for the second time. Gotham held on for a 2-2 draw against Kansas City Current to claim the 6th and final playoff spot. Woo! Sunday's game brought 17 goals across the 2 hours and multiple changes to the standings. There were bicycle kicks, VAR checks, and wild saves. How did it all happen? Below is a real-time cap of how things played out minute by minute.
So I mean that kind of set it off. Bicycle kicks, red cards. Megan Rapinoe scored 2 goals. A tie.
Wild saves.
Ali Krieger made a save of a lifetime practically.
Yes.
I mean, so many things happened. I was excited. Sarah and I did not watch all the games. We did pretty much just watch the 2 games, but I'm just going to go through the games here. San Diego Wave won the Shield. San Diego game, I didn't really watch it, but 2-0. Second year in the league, Casey Stoney, Alex Morgan. Yeah. But I was happy for them. But then, I mean, this was the other game that decided the Shield, and I guess we'll go to this game. But Angel City versus Portland Thorns. Everyone knew that was going to be a tough game for Portland Thorns because they were playing Angel City at home. You know, the crowds at Angel City are amazing, the home support they have. But I don't think most people were expecting this kind of, I think they said in the article, thrashing. They killed them. And 5-1.
They annihilated them.
And like they said, the last year it happened, same exact thing for Portland Thorns. They did not win the Shield because the last day, I believe Gotham beat them. So they didn't win the Shield. So set a precedent. They did go on to win the championship. 5-0. And I mean, the highlight of the game, we saw it. I mean, we didn't see it live, but we saw it. But Sid LaRue with a bicycle kick.
It was the most beautiful bicycle kick goal I've ever seen.
Yes,
it was awesome.
I mean, it was like, it's like those are the things in like soccer movies. You go win the gold and you do the bicycle kick. It was amazing.
Well, you know, a year ago she had posted on her Instagram, I think, that she was practicing bicycle kicks. She was teaching her son.
I saw that video. Did you see that video?
Yeah, and that was so cute. He was, you know, really going for it. And so a year ago, I mean, she made it happen. The practice paid off because she did a motherfucking bicycle kick, and it was iconic.
And then did you see the video of him reacting to the bicycle kick?
Yeah, he was shook. He was like, whoa, mommy just did that.
But very cool. Happy for Angel City. They secured a spot in the playoffs. Happy for them. And Portland Thorns did not win the Shield, but they still secured a bye for the first round, which is important. But Sugita scored, and Sugita's their star. Portland Thorns' star is Sugita. And
yeah, she's been scoring a lot lately.
Yeah, she's so fun to watch too. So excited for them. And then I guess we'll go to the Red Stars versus Rain. I mean, what we saw in this game, I was so pumped for. A, Rain won. That was the most exciting part. But B, Megan Rapinoe scoring 2 goals.
I didn't realize it was 2.
Yes.
Whoa. I saw the 1 goal, but 2? That's some spicy stuff.
Just Fishlock scoring a goal. We did watch that goal, I think, live because it was a VAR check. And at first they thought she scored, then they thought they did. Then it took a long time to figure out that they did. But 3-0. I will say, Chicago is one of our teams, but they've had a rough season.
I know.
Sadly. I mean, last year Gotham couldn't win a game to save their life.
I know. They were like, what, last place?
I believe last place. Although Chicago Red Stars did have a tough season, next year they could come back and win the whole league. They could win the league. They could win the championship.
I hope so.
Me too. OL Rain won 3-0. Pinoe scored. I mean, it was a cool game. And then I guess we're going to talk about the Washington Spirit Courage game. Yeah, that game was very intense. I mean, those are 2 tough teams because going into the final day, when you're going against another team, Washington Spirit was going against Courage, they are both fighting hard for those playoff spots. It's not like the Current. It's not like a Gotham playing Current who has nothing to lose. Those teams are tooth and nail fighting for their lives. I guess I was rooting for Spirit. I like Spirit. I mean,
of course you were rooting for Spirit. I was rooting for Spirit.
Spirit is a very fun team to watch.
I love their spirit.
Yeah, me too.
See what I did there.
But going into the game, I guess we'll talk about it now. Trinity Rodman, a red card in the 23rd minute. I know a couple of things kind of led up to that. I'm actually not quite sure, but let's just talk about the red card right then and there.
I can't even talk about it.
Yeah,
So sad.
If you look at the play, some people are saying red card, not red card. Some people are saying, they went to VAR to make the decision if it was red card. And the way it looked, I mean, yeah, I guess it did look red card. I'm going to read some of these comments from what I saw on TikTok.
Horrible call. Tough loss for Spirit. And someone else said, absolutely the right call. Studs up and showing high on the ankle, endangering the opponent. Textbook red.
I did see a lot of the comments saying, studs up. I think a lot of people are saying, it was a tough call, but a lot of people are saying it was the correct call. But then I also saw this comment.
So someone says, just last week, O'Sullivan committed that same foul against Morgan and a yellow card wasn't even given. Shaking my head. And then someone else said, the refs in the NWSL are so inconsistent, it's infuriating. Yeah, so inconsistency, I mean, that did look like a pretty dangerous play. So a lot of people are saying, red, although harsh, it was the right call. I'm even reading here, right? It was the right call. The issue is they fouled her previously and he didn't call it. So another maybe inconsistency with the ref is that she was fouled. They didn't call it. That's an issue, that he's being inconsistent in the calls too. Yeah.
So it just sucks because, I mean, Trinity Rodman out of the game. And if they made it through, which they didn't, she would be out for the playoff, the first round of the playoff.
Yeah. And when she went off, I was just heartbroken. When she went off and she was crying, I felt so bad for her.
I know, Sarah.
So sad because, I don't know, I think of Trinity Rodman, I wouldn't expect her to, necessarily cry. But I guess it was such an important game and such a, monumental game for them. So I get why she cried, but it was sad. Sad to see.
Sarah was so sad. She goes, you turned into a softie watching her cry.
I did. She was a beautiful crier, by the way.
Yeah, she was cute. You could tell how much it meant to her. She's a passionate player, but you could tell how much it meant to her.
Yeah,
that
it just sucks. So many emotions. And I totally get why she would cry. I would cry. That's the worst time to go out, And especially you could have made a difference for the team. You know what I mean? It's it could have been a different result.
Right.
Who knows?
So that happened. But then just 2 minutes later, a minute or two, I mean, they're already rattled. They're going to be one player down. There was a goal. There was a goal by Courage. It was Tyler Lucy. And they scored. And a lot of people are saying that was an offsides goal. So to add insult to injury, not only was that maybe not a red, or maybe it was red, but Trinity gone. That goal was offsides. I see this one comment that says that goal was a product of an offsides. These NWSL referees are bad. I mean, it was a bad situation for Washington Spirit. Just downhill from there. We didn't watch the match, but those were kind of the highlights / lowlights. And to say, and I root for Courage. I actually do like Courage. I like a lot of their players. Caroline, she got injured. I don't know an update with her. I don't know if she's out for the next first round. So
there are enemies this next round because Gotham is gonna win it.
Yeah. Right? So that was the winning goal. The the offsides, onside goal was the winning goal. That means Washington Spirit out. I mean, I felt more than anything, I actually felt bad for Ashley Hatch. She had a kind of a crappy year between not being selected for the World Cup roster and then now being out when maybe they shouldn't have.
Sucks.
And also news just came out today that Mark Parsons was relieved of duty. He was fired from
sacked, fired, denied, canceled.
Tough to see them that they're out. They're officially out. And then this game, Sara and I were at the edge of our seats.
You were barely there because you couldn't even watch.
I can't watch really high pressure games. I really can't. I have a hard time.
She went to take a shower.
But, Gotham versus KC Current. Home game for Gotham. There's a whole bunch of celebrations for Allie and like so many people cheering for her and so many, they honored her. So I was so happy to see how much Gotham.
Yeah, she was the spotlight.
Yeah.
And she was the star of the show.
And I also think it did help that they're in New York. They went to the New York Stock Exchange where they went everywhere. If you're in another market that's not a smaller market, maybe you don't get all the hoopla that you get like in a big market. So I thought that was cool to see.
She was in Times Square.
Yeah, and at the Stock Exchange where they did the bell and stuff. So
whoa, she was everywhere.
Yeah. So Gotham. So started out so good. They were up 2-0. Midge Purse scored an amazing goal in the 6th. I'm thinking, we got this. We got this.
Yes, and that was the first goal that anyone scored in any of the games. So I was feeling really good about it.
Yes. After Midge Purse scored, then Yasmin Ryan in the 15th minute scored another. And I'm thinking, okay, we're winning. I don't want to get too hyped up. But I'm like, we got it in the bag.
I thought for sure we had it.
Anytime you score really early, there's always that thought that because there's so much time to go. Gotham wasn't playing amazingly, but they really seemed like they were focused, that they really wanted to win, but they weren't playing amazingly, you know what I mean? Yeah. And that kind of showed also in the 26th minute. Current scored, and I'm thinking, okay, we're down 1. They got 1 back. That's okay. But then in the 36th minute, Current came back. But they came back with an own goal from Gotham. So at that point, I couldn't watch. I think I even took a shower. I just couldn't watch the game because I was so worked up. But I will say this. The play of the game, I think.
The play of the century.
Was from Allie freaking Krieger.
Yes.
The
that
play.
Save.
Yes.
That leg.
Because even though I believe
body.
It was just 2-1 at that point. I believe it was still 2-1 at that point. Gotham. That could have been a winning goal, theoretically, if they would have still scored the other goal. It would have been the tying goal at the time. But it would have been a winning goal if that goal would have gone through. But for them for Allie Krieger to save that goal, I mean, she came out of nowhere, Sara. She was like she was 20 years old.
She wasn't even on the freaking screen, and then suddenly she comes out of nowhere like freaking like superhero.
Allie Krieger. I mean, that was her moment. Obviously,
that was iconic.
Yeah, Allie Krieger made it happen. It was amazing, and then she was so hyping up the team. That was actually in the 33rd minute. I didn't know. I'm just looking at it now. So just 3 minutes later, they did get the own goal. But seriously, I think that really was the highlight in a lot of ways of the game.
So she can't retire.
I know, that's what me and Sara go. Me and Sara goes, she enjoyed that so much, she just can't. She's gonna say, nope, I'm not retiring now. But that was really cool. That was in the 33rd minute. So second half. It was 2-2 going into the half. Second half, I thought was a pretty solid Gotham team. They didn't score. They have problems scoring sometimes. Sometimes they have the opportunities and they just cannot connect, and it is frustrating to watch. A little bit of panic soccer at the end for Gotham, but they had most of the ball in their half of the field. At the very end, I still was confused. Who else was confused out there during some of it? Because I thought they still had to win to go through. I don't know why I thought that. So long story short was, they ended up tying, and they tied, and the other game, which was Dash and Orlando, was not finished yet. So that was dependent on if they were going to go through, if what the score of Dash and Orlando was going to be. Dash and Orlando ended up 1-0 Pride. Now, I believe if Orlando Pride would have scored by 2 or 3 more, I believe that means Orlando Pride would have been in the playoffs, because I read here Orlando still has to make up a goal differential if they beat Houston. So they would have had to score by a few more to actually knock Gotham out. I believe. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, because it is kind of, but at the end of the game, Gotham game finished first. Gotham players knew this, that it depended on that Dash Orlando game. And they watched it. I'm sure everyone saw it on TV. They were looking at the phone on the field to see if they got through. So they're watching the screen. I believe it was a phone, but they're watching the end of the game because there's only a couple minutes left. They're watching it.
Waiting for the results.
And at the moment they realize that Orlando won with, the situation was that they were going through based on that score.
Yeah.
They went wild. They were cheering.
So exciting.
They showed Allie. It was so exciting. At the very end, they threw Allie in the air. Did you see that?
I saw that.
So they were super excited, and you could see right on the field. It was a fun moment for the team and for the fans. Although it wasn't a win, they got through, and that was the most important part.
Yeah.
So they got through. Awesome. At that point, we knew that Gotham was in, and they were super excited. Everyone was cheering, happy.
We were super excited.
We were super excited. But it was a nail biter to the end. Orlando, tough for Orlando and Dash. They both did not advance. They were kind of on the outskirts. They had a harder chance to get in. Mm-hmm. But good to see Marta. She ended up scoring a penalty kick in the 87th minute.
Yeah.
I watched none of that Dash Orlando Pride game.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I'm glad I didn't, because I didn't realize if Orlando would have scored to make up the goal differential if it ended on a tie with that team.
You wouldn't have been able to handle it.
I know. So, but I'm super pumped that Gotham was, went through. Gotham versus North Carolina at North Carolina next week on Sunday.
Yeah.
We're excited.
And it'll be playing on CBS Sports Network, which we don't get. So if anyone wants to share a live stream link with us.
So we still have to figure that out. The first two playoff matches, Angel City versus Reign in Seattle, and then Courage versus Gotham in North Carolina. Super excited. Those will be on Sunday, but I'm just excited. I loved all the games playing at once. I personally loved it because every team you play to win. You don't play to tie to get through. I mean, whatever. I know you normally wouldn't play to tie, but it doesn't. It's like
balls to the wall.
Yeah. So it's just like everyone is playing for their life, and I mean, it couldn't have been a crazier day between, the red card, Trinity Rodman's red card.
The bicycle kick.
Pinoe scoring 2 goals. Ali Krieger's defensive amazingness.
Maneuver.
Yeah.
that leg. Yeah. And Angel City beating Portland Thorns 5-1.
Yes. No one
that's unheard of.
Mm-hmm. I don't think anyone's expecting that. Also,
personally, I loved it.
Yeah, I think a lot of people did, because Portland Thorns win so much. And then also San Diego winning the Shield. I thought that was awesome. Second year in the league, and they're winning the Shield. I thought that was really cool. Excited to see Angel City making the playoffs after, having a rough patch for a while. Mm-hmm. So, so many teams, Gotham was on the high for a while. Then they kind of skidded the last few games. Yeah. And so many teams, Orlando Pride was winning and they couldn't stop winning for a while. So I think it's just a fun league. I like the fact that every year anything can happen. I like that personally. It's not just,
it's not one team dominating
anymore. For a while, of course, it was just Courage or it was just Portland Thorns. But, seeing...
Move over, sisters. Yeah. We got a new team in town.
But seeing that Gotham couldn't win a game to save their lives last year. And then this year, they were literally... Some people actually picked them for the Shield. I saw some... until they kind of hit their skids. So, exciting. I love Sunday. It was such an exciting day. What did everyone think? Who is everyone rooting for on Sunday?
Gotham.
Gotham is our team, and Reign is our team. So we are rooting for those two teams. Hopefully they advance, and that's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough road for everyone, but I'm excited. Who is everyone rooting for? I'm so glad it wasn't Ali Krieger's last game. I'm so glad it wasn't Megan Rapinoe's last game.
Yeah.
And they had 2 of the biggest highlights of the day. I mean,
they really did.
It was their day.
Yeah.
And maybe we're overhyping that Ali Krieger save, but I don't think so.
No, I don't think we are. Not at all.
I don't think so. I love it so much.
Queen.
What did everything? Questions, comments down below. We're gonna tell you this. We actually did this last part of our video like 7 times.
Yes.
It wouldn't record for the life of us. I can't figure it out. Technology.
So, let's pray this one went through.
Yeah, I think it will. Questions, comments down below. What did everyone think? And who is your team? And Yeah, who you guys rooting for?
And what was your favorite moment of all those matches?
Yeah, or at least favorite moment. People might still be upset about the people who thought it was an offsides goal or not a fair red card.
Red card.
Yeah. So questions, comments down below. We'll talk to everyone later. Have a great day.
Bye.
Bye.